Good morning, guys and gals. Welcome back to another exhilarating Horbach Outdoors shed hunting video. This one's starting out not exactly how I had hoped, but it's better than nothing. Josh just found a shed. Like I said in the previous video, I think it was the last video, I'm doing the interview once I find a shed because I've had terrible luck when I started the video with the interview before I found sheds. So Josh just found one. He actually found two, but I'll show you the first one. Absolute giant. Don't know how he found it, but he did. So it seems like he's on his game today. I'm gonna show you this giant. Wow, terrific. And here, his other one's about 20 feet away, probably. This looks terrible. This is just as big, if not bigger. Nope. About as skinny and small as you can get. So, not sure if it's a match set. Don't really care. But it's a start. What? I don't think so. It's a start though. Better than nothing. We just got out here. I'll show you where these sheds are, like I've said in the other videos. So the main thing I can think of is we have a not a food plot, it's an ag field over the fence there. This is a big grassy area as a draw. So I think they're just moving from the draw up to the field, and we caught them on the way there. I mean, if you want to know how to find giant sheds, but we're gonna keep looking, and hopefully we'll find some more and a little bit more size too. So I just turned the camera off, like we found those other two sheds just right back there. I figured I'd walk over to the fence line and see if it held true that they were going to the food, and I just found the third one. Not a giant. It's in this grass off this trail here. Not a giant by any means, but not huge, but they're getting bigger, so hopefully that continues. So they're getting bigger, and we just found a set. I just found a set. It looks like a 8-point, and they're laying right next to each other. Look at this. Pretty white, hard to miss. Right here, kind of off a trail here. Looks like a trail, and they just dropped. I don't know. Guess he was just walking through the draw. I'm gonna set the tripod up and show you the set. So here they are. I'm gonna venture to say they're a set because they're laying right next to each other, and they sure look like it. It's got a little kicker down here. Not terrible. Nothing to go crazy about. It's probably this year's deer. Not real sure. But good enough for me. We're gonna keep going. Josh, did you find one? What? Did you find one? No. Oh, he thought he found one earlier, so. But we're in a good spot. We were at the top of that draw when we found those other ones. And now we're just moving further down into it. We're kind of in a little grassy area, a little open grassy area next to the draw, so I think we're gonna find some more, and hopefully they keep getting bigger. Just found another one. It's literally, again, probably 10 yards, not even, away from where I found the last one. So I found these two right here, right off this trail here. I'm walking, and I walk over to this next trail, which is right here. There's one right there. Little one, but she counts. I'm gonna pick it up quick. Nothing too special, but that's the, where is that? That's the 6th one we found. We've probably been out here for 40 minutes maybe. My guess is 40 minutes, so we're gonna keep looking around in here. It might be a spot where they're just littered all over in here. I'll let you know. So we found 3 in this spot. That's pretty good. I didn't expect a whole lot more than that. That one set's pretty good. So we found 3 sheds, and then we found 3 sheds somewhere else. So they're super concentrated. And I might have said this before, but when we find sheds, we just we hunker down and we just, you know, kind of grid the area. Not necessarily grid the area, but up and down the trails that are coming in and out of those areas. All that, because it's kind of like fishing, where like if you find one, there's more than likely one in the same spot or one in a similar spot. So we found one in the grassy area over there. That's kind of, it's in the same draw, but it's in a different area. And then we found 3 moving into that ag field. So you can kind of replicate your areas where, like, if you find one and moving to an ag field, you go to a different spot where they're moving from bed to food. But I'm pretty happy with 6 in our first hour of shed hunting. We have a few more spots to check, and then we're probably just gonna run around with 4-wheelers, run the edges, see if there's any deer that dropped late, you know. Kind of had a mild winter, so I think they might be holding a little bit longer, except today. Today is April 2nd? Yeah, it's April 2nd today. And it's 35 degrees and it snowed yesterday. So Mother Nature's playing an April Fool's joke on us. It's supposed to be 60, supposed to be 70 and warm and sunny and getting ready to fish. That's another reason why I'm not out fishing today. I was going to be fishing, but 18-mile-an-hour winds and 35 temperature for a high. It's not very fun to fish in. So not good for audio, not good for fishing. Just found number 7. Older one. Chewed up a little bit, looks like. I was just about to go up to the top of this draw. I was walking outside here. I was gonna go up to the top of the draw. I was like, oh, I'll cut through. Just really tiny trail right here. So I cut through and walked right up on this guy. Older dude here. Go pick him up. Not very big, but might as well show it. Not really worth a whole lot of camera time, but it's number 7 on the day. Keep looking. I think I just found a good one. It's a year old at least, because it's buried in some grass. So that last shed I found was literally just right down there. I went over the hill to get the 4-wheeler, drove it back, drove it up around this ditch here. I found it right over here. I'm gonna put the tripod down and show you guys. Pick it up, you know, with the tripod so you guys can see it better. And I'm not gonna hype it up too much, but it looks like a pretty good one. So I'm gonna set the tripod down here and I'll show you guys real quick. Alright, so here it is buried in the grass here. Apologize for the wind. It's not as big as I thought it was. I got hyped up because I saw the G2. It looked way bigger. But I'm gonna get a little closer. It's a good shed. Good foresight. Pretty decent brow there. It's kind of cool how it curves in. Nothing too spectacular, but best find of the day, I'd say. It's just kind of in this grassy area. I don't know if you can see what I'm in. I'm really not in much. It's just off that draw like I showed you. There's food up over the hill over there, so I'm assuming maybe it was headed to food or it was bedding on this back side of the hill. It's kind of south facing and then going to food. But not a bad one. I think we're gonna go jump into some timber that hasn't been hit yet. We have a nice cloudy day to do so, so we're gonna take advantage of that and hopefully find some more big ones. Hopefully find some of our hit listers or our, you know, ones that are mature bucks that we passed up. Okay guys, we're gonna end today's video. We ended up finding 8 sheds. Not the biggest sheds. The biggest one we found was this guy right here. Not a bad shed, good brow time. And then this set was the next best thing we found. Nothing too terrific, but I'm going to end it giving you guys some of the tips that we like to do, or we like to use when trying to find sheds. I've talked about a couple of them in previous videos, but I'm going to go over some of the ones that I haven't touched on, and most likely repeat some of the other ones I've said in prior videos. The first one for me is a good day to shed hunt. It needs to be something like, this is like the perfect day, minus it being freezing. It's like awesome. It's like hazy. It's got a little moisture on the grass. It's making it fall down, and there's no sun. Earlier today there was sun out like crazy, and I didn't expect it to get so nice and cloudy for shed hunting like this. I would attribute that to many of the sheds we found, especially the smaller ones, where if the sun was glaring, you really would just miss them. I'm trying to think some other ones. Some of the other ones are one of the most important ones that we typically use if possible is a four-wheeler. Me and Josh today rode around on four-wheelers probably 80% of the time. We were on a four-wheeler, and on a four-wheeler you're not always going fast necessarily. We just cruise them along the edge of draws. We cruise them on south-facing slopes, and like I said, after I picked up this shed, we actually went into some timber. Didn't find any in the timber, but being on a four-wheeler in the timber is not, like, people think it'd be kind of like impossible, but you can jump logs and stuff with those. And the main reason we do use four-wheelers is because it gets you another foot and a half of height, and it's so much easier to see a shed from higher up. You know, being close to the ground like that, grass can cover them and brush, and if you're higher up, you can see over some of that sometimes. So if you guys have a four-wheeler, or if you can acquire, or if you can get a four-wheeler from a friend or something like that, I would definitely encourage that, because they're very helpful. I'll go over some of the main tips now. Some of the main tips that are probably said more than they need to be is a south-facing slope. So why a south-facing slope is so important is because the sun is beating down on that slope, making it warmer. Yeah, it melts the snow faster, and it just gives those deer a little bit extra warmth than what they would have if they were on a north-facing slope where the sun isn't hitting them necessarily. Because the sun during this time of the year is a little bit lower, so it's driving into that south-facing slope, and it might be missing the north-facing slope on the backside. It might not be able to get the sun because of the hill. So that's why a lot of deer are on the south side of some hills. Another thing is, our farm has a ton of draws, up and down draws. We really enjoy that. Waterways are a huge thing where we find sheds, especially in ag fields. A waterway is just, you're going to find sheds there. Just no question. I don't know why, but they're there. Another thing is just go to where the food is. Wherever the closest food is, you're probably going to find the majority of sheds. That's probably the #1 tip. That's pretty obvious. You know, a deer's behavior revolves around two things in my mind, and that is two main things. There's other things, that moon phase and all that, but the main thing is food. The second thing is during the rut. He's thinking not with his head, but his other one. Or not with his stomach, but with his head. Try to think of a couple more things before I end the video. So to recap, nice cloudy day like today, be around food, get in the waterways, outside edges of draws, outside edges of timbers, south-facing slopes, and use topography too. If there's a big ditch, go up on the top of that ditch. The deer is most likely going to go up around that ditch rather than going through it. They're lazy just like us, so think like yourself, I guess. And that's probably how I'm going to end the video today, guys. I always say fishing videos are coming up, and they are. Today we went shed hunting instead of fishing because it's so cold and it's windy. And so expect those in the near future. Apologize for not finding a ton of big sheds today. We found 8, but nothing with real size. If you want to see some antlers with some size, we'll put a link either in the video around here or down in the description, which shows us, or where we show you guys some of the biggest sheds we found, and we go over them in detail and score them and everything. So a lot of you guys have really enjoyed that. So we hope to see you in the next video, and thanks for the view.